Enough is enough. Enough of us being taken advantage of here in the United States of America. And the nail in the coffin wasn't even the bill. The nail in the coffin was the fact that Trump was like, listen, birthright citizenship is over. This Trump administration has gotten so many dubs and so many victories, and has so many wins in such a short period of time. I can only imagine how great this country is going to be in 3.5 more years, when probably J.D. Vance is running for president of the United States of America based off of the great record that we've achieved here in the United States. Such a great country. Always like to link back.
Yeah, giving all praises to Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem HaRachadash. Say double honors to our apostles and elders, Harry Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. And just wanted to, Elder Yahawah had did this short clip from that video from Anton Daniels. I just wanted to speak on it a little bit. And even when you read in the comments, you can see in the comments, look at how happy these people are. You know, somebody's like, yeah, you can go back and, oh yeah, I see all these jobs opening up, right? And, you know, brothers had some comments for him. You know, of course, he's what you would call one who completely joined himself into the society, right? And really, people like him, they don't have a choice. See, when you put your trust and you put everything into, you know, this life, and you've essentially decided to just make a deal with the man in power or your ruler, no matter what captivity was in, you always had a section of our people who decided to, what we would say, sell out. But the scriptures would say that they make a pact with the heathen that's over them so that they can live more comfortable lives. And in doing so, they essentially turn their back on the Lord. They turn their back on the scriptures because they look at it as, this is my life. I want to live as most comfortable as I have to. So if that means I have to abandon, you know, what the Lord Yahawah told me and just do what the man that's in power told me, whether it's the king of Babylon, whether it's the Medes or the Greeks, etc., then that's just what I'm going to do. And in doing so, they turn their back on the Lord. They turn their back on their own brethren. They become judges of evil thoughts. And that's exactly what Anton Daniels is. Now, people like him, though, they don't, since they made that decision, they don't have a choice. Actually, they do have a choice. But when they're that invested in money and in this world and this society, you know, just like these Edomites, these hardcore American Edomites, right? Let's say like Alex Jones. They can see that if Trump isn't the one that's going to turn everything around, it's over. So in a sense, they don't have, since they chose the society, they don't have a choice but to believe that everything Trump is going to do is going to keep the world going and keep them going so that they can keep making their money and living their comfortable lives. But we're just in the back laughing because we know that it's at an end. And it does not matter how hard you rally for your oppressor. It does not matter how hard you rally for the man in charge. It does not matter if you agree with his policy. No matter what it is, you don't care what it is. You're just gonna say, "Oh, I agree with it. I agree with it." You don't care what he passes, right? Because you think you're safe. You think you're a black man in America and that you're safe because you have citizenship. Must not have heard that Trump just expanded that definition. He's going to go after anybody. And then he's going to say, oh, just the criminals, just the bad people, just the bad people. Then next thing you know, it's going to be all people. And somebody like you is going to get caught up. And you're going to just keep agreeing because what choice do you have? You don't have a choice. You've chosen the other side. So you got nothing else you got no other option but to support Trump, whatever he passed, no matter what. When he brings back public execution, when he could bring back hanging, and you're gonna be okay with it because you're gonna say, well, this is the covenant I made, and I think Trump doing a good thing. Sure, bring back hanging. We need to start hanging people again. So, these guys are out of time. As Joshua 24:14 says, Joshua speaking. Now therefore fear the Lord Yahawah and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood, and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord Yahawah. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord Yahawah, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. So, make a choice. Make a choice. And all it takes is for, say if he had a close relative, say if his relative or his wife was to get sick and fall into the hands of the physician. And in order to get that life-saving procedure or treatment, the hospital says, we could, but because of Trump, there's no longer funding for this. So here's a Band-Aid and go home. Then that's when you're going to be sitting there looking like, this dude ain't right. You see? But in his shoes, since that hasn't happened to him yet, okay, or something like that relative, he's in his pride. He doesn't see the need to concern himself with the scriptures, concern himself with the Lord. He got complete blinders on and wool over his eyes. He doesn't see that the world is coming to an end because his investment is into that almighty dollar. So since he's joined into the almighty dollar, he needs the man who created the almighty dollar to reign, even though that dollar and that gold is cankered, moth-eaten, it's trash, is losing value every single day. Since that's his investment and that's what he resting on, and he turned his back on the Lord, he don't got a choice. His choice is to stick with the world, stick with Egypt. Now, what we're telling you is, if you're in the same boat and you believe in that, like, go Trump, it's time us Americans to stop being taken advantage of. This is about Americans. If you really do believe in the society, in the system, then go right ahead, make your choice to keep serving the system. And when Trump sets up those concentration camps, public execution, remove rights for all people, basically turn your money into nothing, into digital, and say you can't get this unless you get this microchip. Just as happy as you are when Trump passed these bills, go be as happy to take that microchip. I'm glad we need a microchip. I'm tired of people trying to steal my wallet. I'm going to go get that chip. I believe in Trump. I believe in the system. And this is just we're advancing, people. Yeah, go right ahead. And the scriptures talk about having a grievous sore upon those that take the mark of the beast. By all means, go right ahead. As Revelation 16, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of wrath of Yahawah upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the man which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. And the image is the system, right? You believe in the system, you bow to the New World Order. Go ahead, go take that mark, which is going to be that microchip. Go all in, you might as well. Okay, because with the Lord, there is no being lukewarm. You either on his team or you're not. You team with Egypt. As Revelation 3. Verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. So no fence straddlers. You either all in with the Lord or you're all in with Egypt. So by all means, okay. Anton, he made a decision. If you in the same boat, if you believe in everything he said, go right ahead. You made your decision. But just know this. Egypt shall fall. So where is that going to leave you? Out on your own. So you believe in Egypt, then you will fall with Egypt. And the reason people flee to Egypt or try to cleave to Egypt is because they believe it's the most logical, safest option. So you're turning your back on your own brother. Because first it was just about American citizens, right? Now it's not even about that. We just want to target Latinos, Native Americans. Then there's more than that. We want to target Negroes, Latino, Native Americans. So that guy Anton honestly believes he's different from his brother Levi, which are the Haitians. The judgment may have it to where you get mistaken for a Haitian and get thrown in them concentration camps and get that. That's the type of judgment the Lord can set up, because now you're gonna agree that what Trump is doing to born citizens, basically the Constitution. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Constitution. Was it the 14th Amendment? You're okay with that just being bypassed because, I mean, like I said, you're all in with the American dollar and you think you're secure because you're a so-called black American. Well, Levi, them Haitians, they're also so-called black Americans. They was born here just like you were. They got just as much rights as you, but you think that you're going to side with them and it's going to be different. You might get mistaken as a Haitian. And you think all I got to do is show my ID and my birth certificate. Yeah, when those guys go to grab people up, they're not doing no asking or talking. And they're going to be like, excuse me, sir, under the rule of President Donald Trump, you do not have rights. You are under completely our jurisdiction. Get your ass in that alligator contrast, nigga. Wait a minute now, I'm a taxpaying citizen. Bow, right upside your damn head. Like, we ain't trying to hear none of that shit, nigga. Get your ass in that damn cage. Yeah, that's the type of judgment that's going to be brought to you. And then you're going to be in there, oh, this ain't right. This country need Yahawah. Yep, it's going to be too late. So make your choice. This is the book of Jeremiah 42, verse 11. This is the Israelites. I'm sorry. This is the Israelites asking Jeremiah, because they see that the king of Babylon is coming. What should we do? And the Lord said that I set up king of Babylon. If you bow your neck and go in under him, you're going to be safe. Your life is going to be spared. But if you think you're going to run to Egypt because you think you're going to be safe, because our people had a custom of making deals and pacts with Egypt because they thought it was going to be safe. This is what he said, verse 11. Be not afraid of the king of Babylon, of whom ye are afraid. Be not afraid of him, said the Lord Yahawah, for I am with you to save you and to deliver you from his hand. And I will show mercies unto you, that he may have mercy upon you, and cause you to return to your own land. But if ye say, we will not dwell in this land, neither obey the voice of the Lord Yahawah your God, saying, no, but we will go into the land of Egypt, where we shall see no war, nor hear the sound of the trumpet, nor have hunger of bread, and there we will dwell. And now, therefore, hear the words of the Lord Yahawah, ye remnant of Judah. Thus said the Lord Yahawah of hosts, the God of Israel, if ye wholly set your faces to enter into Egypt and to sojourn there, then it shall come to pass that the sword which ye feared shall overtake you there in the land of Egypt, and the famine, whereof ye are afraid, shall follow close after you there in Egypt, and there ye shall die. So shall it be with all the men that set their faces to go to Egypt to sojourn there. They shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, and none of them shall remain or escape from the evil that I will bring upon them. And guess what they did? They went into Egypt. They said, Jeremiah, you lying. We're going to go to Egypt where it's safe, because they already had their minds made up. But the Lord just let them know, you think going to Egypt is going to protect you. The same things you fear is going to be brought upon you, because that's why you make a pact with the system. The things you fear the most, Anton Daniels, his greatest fear is being poor. The dollar meaning nothing. He don't got nothing else. All he has is his carnal riches. As the scripture says, uncertain riches. That's all he got. Deep down, he's just a grimy Negro that truly believes that the clothes he wears and the car he drives and the amount of money in his bank account separates him from his fellow brother. He's just going to be the classical case, a classical story of when a nigga gets some money, now he think he's something. Deep down, he's nothing. So when the money goes, where's his purpose? It's going to go. That is why, as I said in the past, Anton Daniels is broke. Because outside of his carnal riches, he's nothing. And if you take that away from him, He's not going to have anything to show. He doesn't have fear of the Lord. He doesn't have faith. He put his trust and equated his own value equal to the amount of money that he has. So since he made a deal with money, and the man in charge, which Esau Edom, his Federal Reserve debt note is considered money. He made a pact with them, and so whatever Trump say, he's just gonna be agreed with. Like I said, they can bring back hanging black folks in the streets and make it a holiday. He's gonna go with it, because what is he gonna do? He's gonna go against it? He can't. He already made the choice. He made a deal with Egypt, and we're getting down to the wire here. So you got to make a choice. You're either gonna go all in for Yahawashi and turn your back on this place, or just go ahead and ride or die with Trump, because that's what these people are forced. Like Alex Jones, they everything that Trump is doing, like that big beautiful bill, a lot of Americans are pissed off behind it, right? But if you made a pact with the society and you really but want America to continue on, Trump is your last hoorah. You got nothing else. And if Trump don't do it, then you know that nobody else will do it. So a lot of you don't have a choice but to support everything that he says. But that's okay. So when he starts passing these rules and yanking up your family members and throwing them in concentration camps, just remember you made a support. You should support it. Support it. You know, if your wife end up going to work getting yanked up, being mistaken for a Haitian, you got to support it. Because you're going to get backstabbed, as the scripture says. But they'll run to Egypt because they say Egypt has I'm going to stick with America. They got an army, nigga. What you got? Oh, you guys that Bible. At least Esau Edom, he got a police force. I'm gonna stick with America. I'm gonna put my trust in Trump. Look, go right ahead, man. The book of but just notice Psalms 33:16 says, "There is no king saved by the multitude of an host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. An horse is a vain thing for safety, neither shall he deliver any by his great strength." And I also want to read that's an awesome one. Proverbs 13:7. It fits that guy to a T. It says, "There is that maketh himself rich, yet have nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great riches." And he won't understand that concept. Okay, the guy is broke, spiritually broke. Where is that? Okay, yes. Proverbs 11:4. "Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death." See, that's how you know righteousness is really the true wages, true riches. Because carnal riches don't profit you in the day of death. Oh, I'm gonna run to Egypt because they got a horse. They got horses. They have horses and a host and armies and people and flesh. Yep, it says none of them are ever saved. You know, no matter how much strength you have, no matter how cold you are, taekwondo, doesn't matter how cold you are with the gun, with the sword. If the Lord wants you gone, you're gone. You can't deliver yourself because of much strength. A horse is a vain thing for safety, and you can't buy your way into heaven. Riches profit not in the day of wrath. So as Isaiah says, the book of Isaiah says, Isaiah 30, "Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord Yahawah, that take counsel, but not of me, and that take a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked to my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust of the shadow of Egypt your confusion." And the time is coming. The time is coming. Verse 7. "For the Egyptians shall help in vain, and to no purpose. Therefore have I cried concerning this, their strength sit still." I'm John on verse 12, just talking to the Israelites. It says, "Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise his word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. So you trust in oppression. An American, and we Americans have been used too long, you know. You trust in oppression. He can't see a future without the so-called white man being his ruler, his superior. The Donald Trump administration, the Donald Trump administration, you know. Because he looks at his own people, he hear us speak, and he like, who are y'all niggas? Y'all ain't got no money, y'all ain't got no land, y'all ain't got no status, y'all ain't got no army. You know, the idea of our people ruling and being a rulership to, he clearly doesn't believe that the Messiah or the Most High is a so-called black man, because then he'd have to look highly above himself, which he won't do. Okay, he trusts in oppression. So that oppression is going to be the one to bite him in the ass in the end. And the time is ticking, man. You either gonna choose Egypt or choose Yahawashi Yahawah. And if you're gonna choose Egypt, you better go all in like Anton Daniels. You better be that powerful. So whatever Trump passed or whatever he do to your black and Latino Native American asses, you better be all for it. Isaiah 31. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahawah. This the Lord speaking to you all who choose Egypt. Okay? But it says what? As for me and my house, we gonna choose the Lord. Yet he also is wise, and will bring evil, and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers, and against the help of them that work iniquity. Now the Egyptians are men, and not the Most High, and their horses flesh, and not spirit. When the Lord Yahawah shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall all and they all shall fail together. So make your choice. You choosing Egypt? By all means. When the Lord stretch out his hand on Egypt and takes his horses and horsemen and riches and currency, all of that down, he's going down. The black woman's going down. You're going down. So make a choice. Shalom.